From Software, now a household name, and a name almost synonymous with quality, craft, and dedication. They've brought us such titles as Elden Ring, which absolutely exploded onto the scene, solidifying From Software as a mainstream force. Hell, even boomers like Elon Musk are playing these games now. Of course, right now we're in an Armored Core renaissance. Now suddenly people are coming out of the woodwork saying that Armored Core was their absolute favorite series of all time. What was your favorite Armored Core game? Oh, it has to be between Project Phantasma or Master of the Arena. I mean, this game has 2 discs. Are you kidding me? But what was this company doing before Assassin's Core 6? Before Elden Ring? Before Dark Souls? We have to go further back. Uh-oh, we hit Kingsfield Bedrock. This is a game that people only pretend to have played to get clout. Oh yeah, I'm a diehard From Software fan. I love the Kingsfield games. These are lies. No one has played the Kingsfield games. And I don't want to see anyone in the comments being like, what are you talking about, dude? I played Kingsfield all the time when I wasn't running away from dinosaurs. And I mean, the Ice Age did kind of get in the way. No, I can see the viewer analytics, you guys aren't that old. Oh, but we went too far, because what I'm interested in today comes after Armored Core 2, but before Kingsfield 4. Nestled nicely here in the forgotten years of the Y2K, you'll find The Adventures of Cookies and Cream. Originally known as Kurikuri Mix in Japan and Chestnut and Cream in Europe. Now I know what you're thinking. This seems a little out of pocket for From Software, the guys that are famous for the gothic berserk aesthetic. And you're right. But you know what's something else that From Software is famous for? That's right, difficulty. Oh, but I'm spoiling it. I'm your host, the Doom Prophet. And it's time to talk about the... Let me read your mind for a second. How have I never heard about this game? I'm a From Software Giga fan. I beat the Sword Saint on only like my 30th try.
Aide!
Well, there might be a reason you haven't heard of this game. I'm gonna describe how this game works, and you're gonna think I'm joking. This game is meant to be played only cooperatively by 2 players, and they're both supposed to use the same controller. I can see you're having a tough time imagining that, so allow me to provide a visual aid. Hey Doom. Hey Doom. Ready? Yep. Now this game might technically be possible to complete with 1 player, but it's definitely made for couch co-op, something that doesn't even really exist anymore. I can only guess that From Software is going for a cute vibe that you play with your mythical and elusive gamer girlfriend. But we don't have one of those. Since I don't have anyone to play with, I'm doing the work of 2 people in this video, so be nice. Anyway, 1 player, or my left hand, is going to control Cookie, this dude, and the other player, my right hand, will control Cream, this little lady. Now, it's never explicitly stated why, but Cookie and Cream are separated by some arbitrary boundary in the middle of the screen, and you have to advance to the end of the stage within the time limit. Almost all of the stages are completely linear, and you'll be gaming in a straight line up for almost the entirety of your playtime. Since they had to fit 2 players worth of controls onto 1 controller, you can't do much. In fact, besides moving around with the analog stick, you only have 2 buttons. Jump, and the consequential double jump on R1, and your action button, which is a context-sensitive command that will take care of literally everything else on R2. These context commands will mostly be dependent on the stages. In these stages, there will be various ways Cookie and Cream can interact with each other from the other side, and in fact, this will be necessary to beat the game. For instance, right here, Cookie has to pull this chain in order to drag the alligator out of the way so Cream can pass safely. These interactions will be the bulk of the game, with each stage ramping up the difficulty and amount of these exchanges. Also, in order to beat the clock, scattered around the stages are silver and gold launch pickups which help you bank more time. So the game is divided up into stages and worlds. There are 4 stages and 1 boss battle per world. Now, every world also has unlockables in the form of collectibles. In each of the 4 stages, there's going to be a puzzle piece you can find. If you find the puzzle piece in all 4 stages, you'll unlock a new character to play in the versus mode. But we'll get to that later. The instruction manual also says there's 1 gift you can find in every world, but I've found 0 so far. Now, let's talk about the... well, they're not particularly good. Actually, they're pretty terrible, but the PS2 just came out, so no one's squeezing any sort of performance out of this machine yet. Therefore, I'm cutting it some slack. Although I must say the models for our titular characters are surprisingly low quality. Also, the entire art direction for the game just feels generic. The game's worlds all have a theme like jungle, desert, music, and none of them are particularly inspired. Like I said earlier, a company that is now famous for absolutely nailing theme and art style. They kind of miss on this one. Probably because they didn't make it their own. Artistically, it feels like grabbing at random from all the popular 90s mascot video games and attempting to just mix it all together. Overall, they're clearly going for a cutesy vibe, but I feel like you can almost just tell it's not in their wheelhouse. There are some cute animations that Cookie and Cream have in loading screens, but beyond that, I don't have anything terribly nice to say about this game graphically. It's just very whatever. Frankly, the whatever state the graphics are in hardly matters, because it's horrible. Now, I got a lot of flack when it comes to music stuff. I tend to have unpopular opinions, but I seriously cannot imagine a person that's going to like the audio design in this game. It's that bad. Are you ready? Are you ready for the title screen in this game? How does the game greet you? Are first impressions important? Can a title screen clue you in on the tone or quality of a game? Let's take a quick field trip to look at some classic title screens from other FromSoft games. Here's Elden Ring. Here's Dark Souls 3. Now, the older titles, Dark Souls and Demon Souls, don't even have music on their title screen, but I'm pretending the character creation music counts because of how insanely comfy and atmospheric it is. Okay, are you ready for the Cookies and Cream title screen? Yeah, and it doesn't really get better either. Pretty much every sound in this game seems like it was almost intentionally made to be as annoying as possible. Jumping is an annoying sound. Talking to the hint chickens is an annoying sound. Everything is an annoying sound. Audio design is one of those things where the better it is, the less you really notice it. If you're properly immersed in a game, the sound just happens. And in this game, I'm almost in physical pain from the bizarre and obnoxious cacophony that's just happening all the time. And maybe this wouldn't matter so much if not for the... Yeah, it's hard. What did you expect? It's From Software. So look, it's kind of tough to judge the difficulty of this game with the position I'm in. That is to say, completely alone. I'm not sure how hard this game would be with 2 players, but with me it's just insane. My eyes can't look in 2 different directions, and as the game gets harder, you more and more frequently have to do simultaneous actions. Also, the game just sucks. Look at this right here. Your action buttons are context sensitive, right? Meaning you can't do an action unless the game decides you're able to. Now, as Cream on my right hand here, I have to pull these things so they don't crush Cookie. So I'm having to navigate for both characters at once, but the action button doesn't work more than like half the time, even when I'm right in front of the handle. Now, during the entire game, whenever you're hit by something, it decreases the time you have available to beat the stage. And when I'm wrestling with the stupid context-sensitive controls, these infuriating enemies have full license to clean my clock, so to speak. And on top of all that, if you think you could just settle down and control one character at a time, think again. If one of the rabbits stays still for too long, some UFO will fly over and start sucking your time off. So basically what I'm saying is... I got filtered. I couldn't beat this game. So, I can't in all honesty call this a complete review. between the genuinely difficult gameplay and the unholy audio design, I tapped out. And for the record, this is the first From Software game to best me, so I'm pretty salty about it. In order to remedy this, I'm actually taking applications right now for a partner to help me beat this game in the follow-up video. If you look like this, or this, please contact me immediately so we can begin training. Story? Wait, you're not telling me you care about the story in this game. Okay, fine. Look, the moon's missing, and for some reason, this chicken tells Cookie and Cream to go find it. Also, this is the only music track in the game that doesn't make my ears bleed. Hey, wait a minute, Doom. You said there were bosses. What are those like? From Software always brings the heat with the bosses. Well, okay. I'll show you the bosses I got to. So this is the first boss, and you can tell that there's still that From Software flair, but the mechanics are nothing special. Oh, is that the real Jean-Paul? Yeah, I don't know what the deal with this guy is. Easy boss though. There's this fish boss, which is basically a bad Mario Party minigame. And then there's this guy, which is probably one of the biggest reasons I couldn't beat this game. No clue how to get through this. No, I didn't forget. So here we are, versus mode. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to play versus myself, but here we go. Naturally, I selected this cat type thing and a cactus. These are the characters I mentioned earlier that you can unlock with the jigsaw pieces. They actually have different stats and everything. Then we select a world to do battle in, I guess? So it looks like an auto-scrolling course where we just like fight to get points. But I immediately got the cat guy stuck in a box. And the cactus fell into the water. And that does a thing from Mario Kart where you get rescued. Except it keeps dumping me back in the water. I'm done. I'm done. No more. Well, like I said, I didn't complete this game, so I can't in good conscience conclusively tell you whether this game is good or bad. But I will tell you, I certainly didn't want to finish it. And perhaps this says more than anything else could. In a vacuum, I'm not sure if anything in this game is actually that hard. But doing 2 different challenges at once with each hand sure is. For now, I guess just stay tuned for the follow-up video coming... never. No. For as sinister as this game was, there was something much darker. Something truly evil. An ancient primordial entity that I have yet to slay. Yeah. Stay tuned for the Shadow Tower video. Also, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Doom Prophet out.